Welcome back to the Through the Lane podcast with co-host Lane.
I'm Talon.
Luke is stuck yet at school. But last night was the NFL draft. Yeah, Luke, and they even set up a third spot for Luke. He just didn't show up.
Well, he's in our prayers.
Yeah,
he's in our thoughts and prayers.
You gotta always be praying for Luke. The NFL draft was last night. The NBA playoffs are going on, and they're pretty good so far.
Yeah,
the NBA awards are happening, and I don't agree with either award that was announced.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. I don't agree with either one of them. But we're starting with the NFL draft. Cam Ward went number 1.
All we have seen so far is the first round. So we know that Shedeur has not been drafted yet. We don't know.
I will try to have this episode up by Sunday morning to kind of speed up the process so we're not far off behind. And next week we'll talk about
the whole draft.
Yeah. But last night was very entertaining. The Jacksonville Jaguars traded up for Travis Hunter. I had him mocked there for a while, and I had been the person saying that was the best situation.
And I didn't feel, and I felt like they felt how probably everyone felt. I don't think he was falling to 5.
No,
I don't think he falls past. I didn't think he'd get past the Browns for sure, and I don't think he would have got past the Patriots.
No, because the Browns were
if he got past the Browns.
Apparently in love with him.
Yeah,
but then they trade up for him, and Cleveland got a haul.
Oh yeah, Cleveland got some good stuff.
And I feel like this is protection in case they're really good. They're decent next year, and they don't have a pick.
Don't have a good pick, yeah.
Because then they can take both first, trade up in the draft, and get somebody.
Yeah.
Speaking of next year's quarterback class, we're gonna have to talk about everything after the draft, everything that happened with the iamaleavas. Because that right there, we just gotta unpack that.
Yeah.
But I love this for Jacksonville. I've said this before. They needed number 1 corner because Tyson Campbell's not
they
number
need
1.
Both of them, really. I mean, you can put him at slot. That's where he's going to play if he plays.
And you need a receiver, and guess what? Outside of Brian Thomas, no one catches the ball. So you can let Travis Hunter play 40 snaps a game there and kind of run free. I think his target threshold, Louis Riddick said he's not going to play 140, 120 snaps
not
a game.
even close.
I agree. I think the threshold's 85 to 100.
I think he won't come off on defense.
No,
he will not come off on defense. And then you put sets in for him, like for him to just get open.
Yeah.
Like you get him the ball, he's dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna do.
And I think he's a guy. He'll play every drive,
but not
every snap. Every snap.
Yeah.
But he's got to play. I'd say about half the offensive snaps.
Maybe like a third down specialist kind of too.
Yeah.
And he'll definitely probably punt or kick return, punt return, one of the two.
Definitely.
I would think.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Now to something that intrigues me, and you're a Giants fan. And I don't know if you've caught wind about this. Abdul Carter goes to the Giants.
Yeah.
It's a very redundant position. You have Brian Burns, you have Kevon Thibodeau. And
it's a position they don't need.
But, so there's two sides of this. If you don't make a move, well, okay, I'll go the first while. Kevon Thibodeau, there's a lot of smoke with him getting moved.
Yeah.
And I thought really that if they were going to move him, you trade to the Lions and you move back in that first round, you then get Jackson Dart, and guess what? The Lions get Kevon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I think Kevon Thibodeau's good. I don't think he's a great pass rusher.
But I think he's someone. Yeah. He's obviously not generational from what we've seen so far.
No.
But he's not bad. Like he's
but
not.
Abdul Carter's probably a generational defensive
That's what,
end.
and Joe Shohan said if you he's a generational talent that you just can't pass up on in the draft.
Exactly.
No matter what your needs are. Like you said, edge is the most important thing in football.
Yeah, it is the most important position.
And if you get an edge like this, you pray he's Micah Parsons because he comes out of the same system.
And he looks so
exactly.
Good. Watch the Notre Dame game. He had like 2 sacks on one arm. He could not use his outside shoulder, and he was bulldozing an elite offensive line.
And the big thing is I feel like if he's not at Penn State, you think about this differently because you've already seen an edge out of Penn State come out and be the best edge in the league.
Yeah. Well, they've got pass rushers galore over there.
Yeah.
I like it. And here's the thing. So the opposite card is you keep Kevon Thibodeau. Third downs are scary.
Yeah.
Because you kick Kevon Thibodeau, Brian Burns in at the middle.
Realistically, probably on paper the best line in the league. The best D line in the league.
Let's look at this, right? Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, because that's your top 2 ends.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence and Kevon Thibodeau.
Dexter Lawrence, who is one of the best players in football.
And what's scary is, and I'd probably say there's a guy who gets taken in this draft who's his ceiling, Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
He's humongous. He's like 320.
Yeah.
But he's an elite pass rusher and a great run stopper. That right there in itself, you've got an elite pass rush. You redid your secondary.
The Giants right now are looking good.
I love the moves.
They're looking
but
good.
It's one of those things where it's either going to be really good or you're going to suck.
Yeah.
Because you bring in this quarterback room's crowded, right? There's a chance they walk into the season with 4 quarterbacks because you bring back Tommy DeVito. I don't think you cut Tommy DeVito. Then you have Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and now Jackson Dart.
Dable already came out and said Russell Wilson will be the day 1 starter. As of right now.
So which makes that whole room interesting.
It does.
Does just Jameis Winston and Tommy DeVito battle for QB2?
The only thing I will not understand is why we got them both.
Why did you bring back?
I think the plan was the whole time to get Jackson Dart. I think they wanted Jackson Dart from the jump. I don't think you go out and get Jameis Winston. I think you get Russell Wilson and you let Jackson Dart sit behind him because he could be a lot like Russell Wilson.
Well, that's why when he got there, I stopped mocking a quarterback to go there because then they also brought back Tommy DeVito, and Tommy DeVito's loved in that franchise.
Yeah.
So you've now got 3 quarterbacks there. You're going to add a 4th. It just made no sense. I do like the pick because you need a QB of the future, but at the same time, I'm kind of just like,
I just don't get why they got them both.
What is this room going to look at?
I don't understand why they got them both.
Are you going to make Jameis Winston fight for QB2?
Yeah.
Or are you going to cut Tommy DeVito because Jackson Dart is surely QB3 on this board? He won't sniff the field at all this year.
He will not play this year, no.
But I like what the Giants do.
I like taking a young QB with a high ceiling. And, I mean, you got, even if it was just Jameis Winston, he's still going to teach him a lot.
Yeah.
But, like, you get Russell Wilson, who, in my opinion, is probably going to play a lot like, or Jackson Dart's going to end up playing
like a young Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I agree. Now, Patriots. I love the Will Campbell move. I had Armand Membu going here, and it wasn't because I think Armand Membu was probably the best tackle. It was because he's the most NFL-built tackle.
Yeah.
Will Campbell's a dog.
There's one thing with Will Campbell,
it's short arms.
It's just his short arms. That's it.
It's the short arms. But I mean, honestly,
and you see, and outliers come in the NFL and they play good. I mean, that's like
he fits the Patriot way too.
Yeah,
he fits the way. So that's where I'm like, they got their guy. Like they've got their left tackle of the future.
I think it's a great pick.
I love the pick. The Browns get Mason Graham.
I like the pick.
Really good.
He's going to be really good.
Rebuilding the defensive line.
Yeah.
They're punting for next year's quarterback class unless they take Shadur. We talked about this before the episode started, and that little bit will probably be in there.
Yeah.
Shadur's. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the first round.
Yeah.
Where that will go.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I think, for me, you get Ashton Jeanty at 6, great pick. I think Ashton Jeanty
I love that move.
I think he's next up.
You rebuild that offensive line.
If you get Shadur, if Shadur's there on the next pick, as Raiders, you take him.
Because he's going to sit for 2 to 3 years behind Geno Smith.
And
by the way, partial owner, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And sitting behind Geno Smith, again, that's kind of his comp. I mean, he's a lot like Geno Smith.
Yeah, that comp is like Geno Smith.
I mean,
Jets don't understand this pick at all.
It feels unneeded.
Yeah,
it feels like a hole that they didn't need to fill. Like,
you needed a tight end.
Yeah.
So bad.
And you have 2 tight ends. I still don't know why Colson Level went first. You still had 2 amazing tight ends on the board.
Tyler Warren would have been so perfect there because you give Justin Fields, who's not the greatest of passers, a safety blanket.
Yeah.
I think the tight end position...
And I feel like Tyler Warren is like the safety blanket.
I think tight ends, unless you're like the top 5, are very undervalued.
Yeah.
And what their role can play for a team.
Yeah.
And so I think last year, if they had, if they didn't pass up on Brock Bowers, which I think will haunt the franchise... I think that's one of the reasons why Joe Douglas got fired.
They do a lot of things to haunt that franchise.
Oh, dude, it's terrible.
They do a lot.
It's terrible.
It's just sad. I mean,
it honestly is. But you didn't have Brock Bowers with Aaron Rodgers. That's a better offense, right?
Yeah.
But you pass up on it. Then you drafted tackle last year. You draft another tackle this year. I think Armand Membu is going to be an all-pro tackle.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a bad pick per se. It's just not what they need.
The need.
It's just not the need.
Armand Membu, I don't know if anyone watched the clips that they had of him last night. Mauls guys.
Yeah.
Like,
he is dominant.
Where's it? The guy just sued his family. Blindside. There's a play. There's like 3 plays they show actually where after the whistle he's still driving the brother. Like,
it's what you like to see too.
Armand Membu is a monster.
Yeah.
He's a little bit rawer than Will Campbell, which is the reason why Will Campbell went ahead of him. But that's why that gap closed was because Will Campbell had short arms. Armand Membu, both of them are probably all-pro tackles if everything goes right.
I think so, yeah.
Now at 8.
This was the first, like the Armand Membu pick. Like you're not surprised about that.
There was always smoke though in the beginning with them saying they needed a receiver, but everyone was
and
like,
they do. I mean,
But you never looked at this class and been like, I'd take Teterow top 10.
Top 10?
No.
No.
No, I think at one point I had Matthew Golding going 8, but that was because I was like, you're fiending for a receiver.
Yeah.
Xavier Legette isn't what we hoped he would be. Now,
No,
he's a starting receiver. Yeah,
he's not bad. Yeah.
But he's not
he's not what you would have hoped.
You need a big body. And I think Teterow McMillan, they talk about, the only worry here is
separation.
N'Keal Harry 2.0.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of N'Keal Harry 2.0
And
vibes.
I think it's something where he's just raw. I think you're gonna have to.
Raw.
I think you're gonna.
Arizona.
And he gets with Adam Thielen.
Yes.
Again, it's just all about what veteran players you can learn from. And I mean, Adam Thielen's good.
He's a dog.
Adam Thielen's good.
Hall very good.
Yeah.
Next is another confusing pick.
Very weird pick.
Kelvin Bank. They've got Trevor Penning, and then they've got Ramczyk, which I think I saw something. Ramczyk might be out.
He's gonna retire.
Yeah, but he had health issues.
I think he's gonna retire.
Okay, we talked about it, and I watch a lot of the Todd McShay show, Built Through the Trenches.
Yeah.
But you need a quarterback.
They should have.
In
my opinion, I felt like Shedeur was going to go right here.
You're in cap hell, right?
I felt like Shedeur was going right here.
I had Jackson Dart above Shedeur, but I thought this is where if you're going to take a quarterback, one of the two were going.
I didn't feel like the Saints were going to draft Jackson Dart because that's not really how they. That's not the play style they want. I feel like
they don't want a game man. They don't want a game mover. They want a game manager.
They want a game manager, and Shedeur is the game manager. I think he would have fit well here. I wouldn't have hated the pick.
And we're going to talk about this real quick. Everyone's talking about how Shedeur, it's this atrocity that he fell out of the first round and that it's kind of over. Shedeur has I want to say that Shedeur's not a bad quarterback.
Not at all. And he's gonna come in and produce already. He's already ready to be.
Shedeur is a game manager. He's
accurate. He's very accurate.
He's going to be in this league for a while. And if not as a starter, as a backup, because of his accuracy and the way he can run an offense.
I think he'll be in the league as a starter for a while.
They said it well this morning on ESPN. When you watch his tape, nothing scares you.
No,
you're not scared. Jackson Dart, his arm and legs scare you.
Yeah.
Shedeur, nothing really scares you. Like he's not going to beat you over top.
It feels like he needs to go somewhere already good, and that's why if he goes to the Browns, it's going to be hard.
It's going to be rough. I think.
And that's what happens with every QB. You go to the Browns, life's hard.
And that's why he fought. That's why he fell.
Yeah.
Shedeur's not a bad quarterback. He's a game manager. And he's going to be in this league for a while.
But, I mean, you've seen what Drew Brees did. That's kind of what I think about.
And that's where there's...
and you think about, how good Geno Smith has been. It's, more recently.
They talked about it. The Geno Smith, the Drew Brees, the Tom Brady's. Those guys who are come from the same cloth. And the best player in NFL history was a game manager. He was amazing. But you also have to look at it. He got put in a good franchise. You had Julian Edelman. You had Gronk. You had Randy Moss. You had Danny Amendola.
And that's what Shedeur needs. Is if he can go somewhere good, he'll be amazing.
You look at
he'll be like a Brock Purdy sort of.
Exactly.
Kind of what you think about.
But I think Brock Purdy's a little bit more athletic.
He is.
Again, we talked about Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff, when he was with the Rams, did not look good because he didn't have weapons.
Exactly.
You then put him in Detroit where he's got weapons.
That's kind of like the Baker Mayfield situation too. He went to the Browns, didn't look good.
Well, he had moments.
Exactly, and that's what.
But yeah, he didn't look good.
And that's kind of what I guess happened with Bryce Young, sort of, because he just something just flipped.
That receiving core was terrible. That's why they had to go out and get Teterow.
That's why they had. Yeah.
Look at Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
He does not have many weapons, and he's starting to suck now.
Yeah.
So and he lost his mobility. But so you look at that clock. None of that makes you want to scream first round pick, right?
Yeah.
Now Jackson Dart is either he's going to be a starter in this league for a while, or he's going to be out in 4 years.
He's not someone who's going to sit there and be a backup.
He's got a lot higher ceiling than Shedeur, but he's got a lot lower floor
for sure.
And so that's why I think Shedeur's home spot was the second round.
Yeah.
Part of me was like someone was going to take him in the first.
I figured. I thought he would get taken.
But I was like,
I thought when he was just right here for the Steelers, I don't know how they passed up.
But it got worse. The interviews just kept, for every one good interview he had, 4 bad ones came out.
Yeah.
And that could just have been smoke. That could have been the media tearing him apart.
That could have been media. And there's been a lot of media tearing him apart.
And I want to say this. I'm so tired of everyone saying the media is trying to break this man down.
Yeah.
It's partially his own doing. This isn't something where we're like, well, we've never seen this. No. Shedeur, what these interviews are coming out as, this is who Shedeur is. And we've already seen it. So this isn't the media just trying to beat him down. This might just be Shedeur being Shedeur and being an idiot.
But the thing is that, since he's being kind of stupid, the media finds little stuff to try to
Yes.
Like I saw something and it was like Jackson Dart showed up to the NFL draft thing with a backwards hat on. No one said a word. Shedeur came with a backwards hat. Everyone was talking about it. I didn't hear a word about Jackson Dart coming to the combine or whatever. It wasn't the combine, but
yeah, with the backwards hat.
Yeah, with the backwards hat. No one cares. Like they try to make the false narrative.
There's extra light on him.
They try to make the false narrative that Shedeur like he's cocky, but like stuff like that is just stupid. No one cares that he wore his hat backwards.
Yeah.
Like
and to me that's not my thing. We talked about this I think last episode.
Yeah.
Arrogance, confidence, and arrogance.
Yeah.
And there's a massive difference, right?
Yeah.
Like Baker Mayfield early on in his career hedged on the side of arrogance,
Yeah.
and he got brought back.
Yeah.
I think Shedeur's going to have to get brought back. I think last night was a humbling moment because let's be honest, they're retiring his jersey. He was 13-12 at Colorado, but
Yeah.
you have no clue by the way he acts. So it's a bit of a turnoff because he
yeah.
acts like he won a natty. He won the conference.
That's what it feels
He
like.
was 1-6 against teams above 500.
Yeah, but for a Colorado quarterback, he's amazing.
Yes.
And that's like there's levels to it.
I want to ask
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to ask you this. If his last name was not Sanders, is he even talked about?
He broke Colorado records, you know?
Yeah, but this is Colorado.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Colorado retiring his number for their school means nothing to us. So there's no point in getting mad about it, you know?
Yeah, Travis Hunter, I understand why, because Travis Hunter's a great individual.
Won the Heisman.
Won the Heisman.
I will say, I bet if he wasn't
A Sanders?
Deion Sanders' son, I bet he wouldn't have got retired. But
Or he would even be a top 2-round pick.
probably not. But still, he looks good. I mean, you can't,
like we're not saying he's a bad player.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
It's just,
and I'm not even saying he doesn't deserve the number retirement. I think it was early. I think it was a bit much.
Yeah.
But he broke records.
He's still going to class.
Yeah, but I mean, he broke records though. So I mean, that's what
he won like 3 natties and a Heisman. Retire his number before he graduates.
I mean, before he even
leaves.
I mean, mid game, bro, just do it.
But like, you know what I mean? Like he just didn't do it.
It's weird. I don't.
But to 10, to 10. Colston Loveland.
This was the first
this
one.
made no sense.
Where you just don't get. I just don't get it.
Listen, everyone said that they were close. Tyler Warren, my comp for him was Brock Bowers.
And Brock Bowers is
Colston Loveland is not. I don't think he has the ceiling as Tyler Warren does, and I just don't He fits more the Cole Kmet kind of mold.
Well, Cole Kmet is
Pat Freiermuth.
Cole Kmet's even bigger than him. Like
I'd say the Pat Freiermuth build.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like if you want to run 12 personnel and you want to give Caleb Williams a chance, Tyler Warren is your guy.
Yeah.
Because now you've got Romeo Duze, you've got
Roma Dunze is going to be good.
You've got Moore,
DJ Moore.
Got DeAndre Swift, you've got Cole Kmet, and now you've got Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
You've got weapons everywhere. Colston Loveland to me is a guy that'll be 600 to 700 yards a season and about 7 to 8 touchdowns. Tyler Warren is a guy that's going to be 8 to 1,100 yards, 12 receiving touchdowns a year type of player.
So, yeah.
He's going to be like a number 1 option. And teamwork, like, DJ Moore is a great receiver. But he hasn't looked like a number 1 because of the system. Now, that could completely change.
Yeah, I think that's also more of
Shane Waldron was a terrible OC. Yeah. But I just felt like you just needed another weapon. I like the move, getting a tight end.
I do too, and he's gonna be really good. Like it's not gonna end up being a bad pick.
It's just I feel like
I don't know how you pass up.
You
on
just
it.
miss up on.
I think Tyler Warren's more of a traditional tight end. To me, Colston Loveland feels like more of a big body receiver.
Yes.
And I think maybe they just wanted that.
Maybe someone to put him up in the end zone, the red zone, and you just get it up.
Yeah.
But now to 11, I really like this move, Michael Williams.
That's a good pick.
They needed more pass rushing, youth, cheap.
Nick Bosa's still good to play, right? He's still on that team.
Yeah. Speaking of cheap, Ashton Genty is now the second highest paid running back in the league.
Wait, like behind Saquon? Yeah.
Yeah. See, he hasn't played an NFL snap. That to me is crazy. Now, a move I really like, and I've been saying this for a while, and then at some point they're like Tedero to the to the Cowboys, and I thought, you know what, that'd be a Cowboy move. You don't address a need because you just had 2 Hall of Famers retire.
Exactly.
But Tedero goes, hey, Tyler Booker, they needed that.
Great pick. I mean,
they needed that. Love it.
I mean, really, there's no one else right there you pick.
Miami Dolphins.
Kenneth Grant.
They didn't have Tyler Booker and Kelvin Banks are gone.
Yeah.
So they have.
You can't. I mean,
Their 2 guys aren't there.
Yeah.
Kenneth Grant again. I talked about him being
his ceiling.
A Dexter Lawrence is his ceiling.
Yeah. Do you like him over Mason Graham, you think?
No, because I think Mason Graham is going to be, I wouldn't say Aaron Donald-esque, but I think...
Sort of.
Yeah, I wouldn't say his ceiling. I guess in a perfect
ceiling
world,
Aaron Donald is a little, it's always pushing.
Like they were comparing, I think, Cam Warren to Patrick Mahomes.
They were, and
I was like, that's too,
But that was one of those things where it's just kind of like the play style, like not necessarily comparing him.
And we did this with Caleb Williams too.
Yeah.
But I think we needed to talk about with Caleb Williams.
Did we even talk about Cam Ward?
No, but that was a shoe-in.
Okay.
That's a shoe-in. Kenneth Grant, I think his floor is Jordan Davis. His ceiling's Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I really love that pick. I'm happy he went that high. I was worried he was going to fall.
I like
now,
that pick,
the Colts.
too.
They got Tyler Warren.
Perfect pick. And nothing else you want. I mean, that's
great.
That's literally, that's textbook. Like, if you, like, they sat there and they were like, if this dude somehow falls to me.
Yeah, take it. They needed a tight end every day.
Yeah.
Falcons.
Jalen Walker.
Finally.
Great pick.
Finally, we addressed pass rushing.
Such a good pick.
Now, one of the 2 teams, the 2 of the 3 teams that needed pass rushing addressed it. We'll talk about the other one at the end of the draft. I don't know, you know. But we need Jalen Walker's great. This thing of where is Jalen Walker going to play? He's going to play. If you want him on the end as an off-ball linebacker on first down, okay. But second, third down, that brother's a pass rusher.
I think he's going to primarily be edge rusher.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's going to be like a Micah Parsons.
But exactly. And I think, and if you want to do what Georgia did and you have him line up off ball and then blitz, fine. But that kind of gives it away. But he terrorizes interior offensive linemen. I love that move.
It's a great
And let's talk about the move they made later in the draft.
We're going to go to it.
They traded to the Rams, right? And
they got a straight edge.
And mind you, the Falcons had probably the worst pass rush in football, like
for the last 6 years.
Since Vic Beasley,
it's been a while.
Vic Beasley had that year and then died.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been terrible, and I said this last year: pass rush. I beat on the table. We should have got Dallas Turner. When we get Michael Penix, and you know what? Maybe that worked out because Kirk Cousins is shit.
He's terrible.
But we bring in Jalen Walker, and now I'm happy we got edge again, but I'm not happy who we got. I love Mike Green. The issues, off the field issues with James Pierce as a teammate was not rated high.
Yeah.
Again, great pass rusher.
Yeah.
Just the baggage. But I'm happy we did what we needed to. We said pass rush is our biggest issue.
And they got 2.
Let's redo the whole room.
They got 2 of them.
We brought in, mind you, Leonard Floyd is a part of this pass rushing group too.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of talks about James Pierce being able to start moving kind of off the edge and to sort of the linebacker.
Yeah, outside linebacker,
sort of. And he's quick. And that's
so fast.
And that's why you think, if they can teach this dude how to play linebacker, he could be...
If he could run through an offensive tackle, he's a top 15 edge in the league.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to address the run stopping ability too.
Yeah,
filling holes.
He does not play with power. On tape, he gave up his inside shoulder trying to beat people around too much. Right,
but I think raw talent. I think depending on what they're trying to do with it, I think it's gonna be.
But I love it. You've got Leonard Floyd, you've got Arnold Ebiketie, you've got Jalen Walker now, and James Pierce. You got some young guys. To go harass a quarterback. I think the Falcons are gonna look good. We'll talk about this over the summer. Where we rank teams. But next up, right?
Walter Nolan.
Nolan. I had him falling because he's very raw.
But
I wrote in my notes in the winter. Jalen Carter-esque. He's a lot rawer than Jalen Carter. I think his ceiling is Jalen Carter. His floor, I don't know what his floor would be, but I like the move. They needed defensive line help.
He's someone who can come in and end up just not being that good. That's kind of the first player that gets picked where I'm like he could come in and not be that good.
He'll be a good run stopper. But pass rushing, I don't know. And another player who could not be that good because he has, I think, 4 sacks in college total over 3 years. But Shamar Stewart. And again, we talked about this with Joe Milroe, and I'm so happy he didn't go last night because and this happens, and I'm learning now every sport has this where you're just like the traits, and it's like, yeah, but he's ass. Like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
Shamar Stewart looks fantastic. He's got a motor. He's a dog.
Yeah.
The production wasn't there. I think that production was just because Texas A&M was not that great.
Yeah, and I think, and that's what, there's some people that like,
Traylon Walker.
Like A&M was not that good.
No.
And that's, Shamar Stewart is someone where you just got to go watch the tape and see what he can do.
And he looked good.
And he looks good.
Now, Seahawks, Grace Abel, I've been talking about this brother for a fat minute. Right, and I said because he was from North Dakota State, he'd probably go in the back of the late first.
Fall, yeah.
But he rose again.
Yeah.
This brother's a dog. He can play guard, center, and tackle if you need him. I mean, he just looks great. His home is either going to be guard or center. Do they need a center or a guard? Like which? Yes, they had one of the worst offensive lines. Yeah, so they redo the offensive line, and again, the trenches are very important. So yes, you've got to redo that, especially when you've got San Francisco, you've got the Rams, and you've got the pick above 2 picks above you, the Cardinals going and get a pass rusher. You've got to stop those guys.
Yeah,
I love the move. Now, a one that again we talked about off air confuses the shit out of us.
Very, very
and
odd
that's
pick.
Right, like that wasn't a need. I thought this is where Jihad Campbell went. Now apparently I found out he's got to have hip surgery.
He has to have another shoulder surgery.
Yeah, he's got left shoulder surgery, hip surgery, and he's going to have right shoulder surgery.
And they said his knee. And they said something about his knee,
not hip,
too.
His knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that after next season.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Jihad Campbell. That one I think is more intriguing than I think people know.
Yeah.
And ESPN hasn't done a great job covering it. But Emeka Buka, you've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan. Where does Emeka Buka fall in this? Unless you don't think Chris Godwin's going to be able to play.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it.
And Emeka Egbuka is someone who, in my opinion, I think he's going to come out and, in the long run, be the best receiver in this class.
Yeah, I think he could. He's got a high floor.
Yeah. Yeah, high floor.
High
for sure.
floor.
Yeah.
Now 20, Denver. Jahdae Barron. I didn't understand this pick at first. But then as they kept talking about, they said he's a Brian Branch, a guy that can play outside, inside, and safety.
Oh, yeah?
And he played a little bit of safety at Texas. He terrorized Georgia the first game at playing safety with Makuba. So I love that move from that point because you got two Pro Bowl, you got 2 Pro Bowl corners. And
you have the best corner.
You're the best corner.
In
Riley Moss is a top 3 number 2 corner in this league. Very underrated.
For sure.
You've got they need to figure out safety a little bit, but if he plays the nickel safety role, and the Brian Branch role, they call it the Joker role.
Yeah.
If he plays the Joker,
didn't Brian Branch just get paid, or was that?
No, that was Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph
just got a bag.
Yeah.
But Brian Branch shows that his Joker role is huge. I think that's where we're going to see later Malachi Starks play the Joker role to free up Kyle Hamilton.
Malachi Starks will for sure be something like that.
And I love that. I've had them taking like Will Johnson or somebody. Now, on to the Steelers.
Now, this is where...
And I don't
this is where I'm sitting here thinking, Shitter's gone.
Yeah.
I think he lasted this long.
Surely, Shedeur goes.
Surely you take
when he won, right?
Yeah.
And again, we talked about the interviews. I guess he rubbed them wrong.
He must have. He had
because
to. Because really, everyone had him going right here.
You take Derek Harmon, and the reason why someone said they're in win now mode, Mason Rudolph is not going to win you shit.
I mean, I don't know what quarterback you can win now with on their roster. They don't have one.
But you know what? They get paid to do this. We don't.
That's true.
Derek Harmon is the replacement for Cam Hayward, and Cam Hayward can only play for so long, and I get it. Derek Harmon looks good.
Yeah.
I just think quarterback should have been the move here.
I do too.
Now the Chargers.
I
love this move.
This one surprised me. I did not think Omarion Hampton was going to go.
It was going to be, if none of the tight ends made it, and Kenneth Grant wasn't there, it was a receiver or running back.
Yeah.
And this is where...
And I love the pick. I'm not saying I hate the pick. It was just, to me, it was surprising.
I was looking at it from 20, 22, 23, 24, where you're going to see either Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, or Matthew Golden go.
Yeah.
And because they need a running back and a receiver.
Yeah.
And, Denver Broncos solidified the defense. Love that move. They brought in Evan Ingram, I forgot. So the Broncos did.
Yeah.
The Chargers, they keep signing running backs to 1-year deals.
Yeah.
So you get a unit. I mean, the brother's huge.
I think he's going to end up being
a great running back.
And how often do 2 running backs get drafted in the first round?
Not often.
Because it's not a lot.
Not often anymore. And there was talks about a third one, Travion Henderson, and I thought he was going to go to the Vikings because they need a young running back. Aaron Jones is not the move, but they go Donovan Jackson. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
A move I love Matthew Golden to the Packers.
I mean, that's perfect.
I just
I mean, you do this draft
the
over
big
and over again.
middle finger to Aaron Rodgers. Just screw you, dude.
I mean, they didn't do that. They didn't do that once with Aaron Rodgers.
No,
they wouldn't have even thought about. They probably would have. They probably would have took Donovan Jackson.
I think the first time in the 2000s they've taken a receiver.
It's crazy.
And it's a good receiver. They've been talking about they needed a number one. They're in the DK Metcalf things.
Yeah.
And I love it. Right, Christian Watson's probably out the door. Romeo Dobbs is out the door. Jalen Reed is a great number 2. And Dontavian Wicks is a good number 3. And then you have good tight ends. You have a great quarterback, and you've got good running backs.
Yeah.
This makes our offense even better. I love the move.
It's a great pick.
The Vikings, I'm not sold on the move. They just signed Will Fries. I guess you need to put someone up on the other side of him. Donovan Jackson's good. I can't believe he went above Josh Connery and Josh Simmons.
Yes.
But, it is what it is. Falcons pick we already talked about. The Ravens, Malachi Starks, right? The Joker role, he fits it. They had issues because they had to put Kyle Hamilton in a different at safety because Brandon Stevens was terrible.
Kyle Hamilton is the best safety in the league.
Yes, but they had to put him at this other role that he kind of. I guess Kyle Hamilton is your Joker.
Yeah.
So on that defense, but they had to take him out of that.
Yeah.
And he didn't play well. The defense struggled.
No.
They then put some other dude at safety and put Kyle Hamilton back in the Joker, and the defense flipped. And they realized Malachi Starks, he played great ball skills.
Yeah.
They put him now at safety, and it frees up Kyle Hamilton.
It lets Kyle Hamilton do whatever he wants.
Whatever he needs.
And that's what you want to do. And Kyle Hamilton is just one of those players where you put him out there on defense, and he's going to make plays.
Your secondary is Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks. That's an elite secondary.
Oh, yeah.
I love the move. Now, to the Lions, that one team that didn't address pass rush, Tyleik Williams, right? You still have Mike Green, Donovan Ezeruku, Kyle Kennard, Princely Umanmielen.
Mike Green falling out of the first was surprising.
It's the off-the-field issues with what happened at Virginia and in high school, which is a shame. All false accusations. But you got to get pass rush.
Yeah.
I mean, look, literally, we talked about this all year long. What was the issue when Aiden Hutchinson went down?
The only
issue
is that they couldn't.
Aiden Hutchinson played 5 games and led that team in sacks the whole year.
And Aiden Hutchinson is different.
Yes, but he should not have led the team in sacks.
Oh yeah, through 5 games.
So what you think pass rush? What do? You get a run stopper. Why? I guess because the only reason why that you could justify that is you think you're going to be playing the Eagles year in and year out. You've got to stop the run. But when you can't stop a cold, you can't you've got to get the pass rusher. Aiden Hutchinson's coming off a gruesome injury. He's probably going to hit the ground slow.
Yeah.
He needs a running mate.
Yeah.
And you just didn't get one. Now maybe it's because James Pierce Jr. got taken and you thought you panicked, right? You get Tyleik Williams.
They were probably going to
waiting for James Pierce Jr. Yeah. And that's probably why the Falcons traded.
And that's probably why the Falcons traded up for him.
Traded up to 26.
Yeah.
But at that point, get Donovan Ezeruku. He fits the culture.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson needs a running mate. And I think this was a terrible move, and it'll probably bite them in the butt later on. And I'm not saying Tyleik Williams is not going to be good, but Tyleik Williams is probably going to be a guy that gets the Pro Bowl 2 times in his career. You could have gotten a perennial Pro Bowl edge rusher to put to the other side of one of the best pass rushers in all of football.
In the league, yeah.
And you just miss on it.
Yeah.
The Commanders get Josh Connery. Protect the Golden Goose.
Great pick.
Protect the Golden Goose.
There's honestly nothing to say about it. Just good pick.
But Bills, they need secondary help.
Another good pick.
Great pick.
Good pick.
And I just want to say this. It was so awesome watching Maxwell Hairston dap up every single
person, and then he gets picked.
I was like, that's a hell of a guy.
Yes, that was so cool.
I want him on my because he's that's a team player. He don't know half these guys. Now he didn't dap up somebody from Alabama, and that's it's Tyler Booker. He didn't dap up Tyler Booker, and that's because fine, right? But Maxwell Hairston. I don't care if he sucks. If he sucks when he plays, he showed he's a great individual. Yeah. And I love it.
And they went out and got what they needed. They needed
corner.
They needed corner.
Now, Eagles, Jihad Campbell, and we talked about the injuries, and it's the reason why he fell. And he's listed as a linebacker, but Howie Roseman said, and I thought this was weird because N'Kobe Dean and Zach Bonner are their starting linebackers. So why get another one, right? Yeah. And I saw the interview with Howie Roseman this morning, and he goes, we're bringing him back to where he started Alabama at. Yeah. The only reason why he played linebacker this past year and a half at Alabama was because of the injuries. Yeah. And they had no one else. Yeah. And he fit the role. he's going to be playing edge. He's going to be going back, putting his hand in the dirt, and rushing the passer. And this is where ESPN pisses me off. And it's because they're such a big media outlet. They don't really focus on this. They were talking about he's going to develop as a great linebacker. They're not going to play him as a linebacker. Yeah. They want him to get a pass rusher. They lost pass rushing in Josh Sweat. Guess what? You replace Josh Sweat with a super athletic. Jihad Campbell is either going to be a great edge rusher or a great middle linebacker. Fred Warner, middle linebacker, very elite defensive end. I love the move.
And I think it's something where like if the Eagles trade up, they trade up one pick just in case. You never know.
Yeah.
And you think if the Eagles are trading up to get me, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they wanted him. They would have took him top 15.
Yes.
If they were up there.
And it addresses the pass rush, right?
And it's something that like the Eagles, like Zach Bond, like you don't know who that is until last year. You know, like he's not like.
And it's just Kobe Dean goes back down with injury, just move him back to off-ball linebacker.
If you want to go anywhere in this league, it's to play defense for the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's in the perfect spot.
The Chiefs, they probably the best tackle in the league, but he tore his patella tendon. It made him fall. Yeah. Josh Simmons, they needed tackle help.
I mean,
so bad.
I think they're just sitting there. They're going to take the best tackle they can find.
Yeah, it's good. At this point, I was like, if Josh Simmons goes at any point, if Josh Simmons didn't make it there, or Josh Connery is going to be Josh Connery or Josh Simmons. Oh, Ariante Ursery.
There was a lot of O-line taking in this draft.
Now, Shedeur, I'm so happy Milroe didn't go. If Tyler Shuck...
Was there a chance Milroe was going to go first round?
He was in the green room.
That's insane.
That's why I was like, wow. I think it's just because the NFL loves him and they want him to be good, but like, let's be honest, he's probably going in the third round. Shedeur probably is either going to the Browns or the Raiders.
Shedeur will not... I don't think Shedeur falls out of the next 6 picks.
What would be funny is Tyler Shuck goes to
There's
the
no
Browns.
way. There's no way.
At that point...
That's too far. At that point, racism. They gotta be racist. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, after they just paid Myles Garrett a bag.
That's how I don't know, dude. That if Tyler Shuck went...
Yeah, I'm telling you, he shit the bed in his interviews at that point.
No, I mean, he's got to be the worst personality ever.
Oh, dude.
I mean...
but let's talk about NIL and, whatever.
The iamaleava.
Nico, it shows what's wrong with the transfer portal and everything, but I don't know if you saw this. Nico and his brother are getting sued now.
They're both getting sued, yeah.
What Madden did is just wrong.
Yes.
You decommit from UCLA, you go to Arkansas. Your brother goes to UCLA, you decommit, you get $200K from Arkansas, you decommit, and you jump ship, and you get another bag from UCLA. Arkansas goes, my money.
Like, I'm suing you.
My money. And Tennessee is suing Nico because, again, he took the money. And I just want to talk about this. Nico, that is a bad look. Everyone's saying, when I talk to him, he's a good character. He threatened to, and I get it, he says I don't know where Nico got to the point where they were talking about him throwing. That was never what was said.
No, and I don't think, I think that kind of, because someone had said he was...
They tried opting out.
He was trying to negotiate the contract during the playoffs.
It's Josh Patel of 24/7. He covers a lot of prospects.
But I think that got blown into he was trying to throw for more money, or like he was mad. Yeah, and I don't think that was it at all.
I think that got blown out of proportions. But the sitting out of a playoff game, being like, "I made a playoff game, pay me now," brother. This season's still going on.
Yeah,
like you got to do. And then again, him sitting out. Like someone said, 11 of his 19 touchdowns came against group of 5 teams.
Yeah.
Then 4 of his 9 touchdowns came against Vanderbilt. So 5 of his touchdowns then came from Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas. Yeah. So 4 touchdowns. You look at that and everyone was like, and you're a Tennessee fan. The Nico this, Nico that, Nico's this great quarterback. But then you look at his stats and you're like, I'm not blown away.
Yeah, and it was something where last year I wasn't expecting him, to come out. And to be honest with you, for me, he was better than I expected. Like he's raw, but
he
it was
worse than I expected. But people were gassing him up.
Hey, I was not. I wasn't as high on him as like he's got the intangibles. He's got a nice arm. He just can't. He doesn't have it. That smart.
He doesn't have it.
And it's not even one. He just
Like the Arkansas game?
You watch him. And
why the hell are you running the ball at the 23 with 2 seconds to go?
He just doesn't have the it, and I don't even know what it is. He just doesn't have it.
He just doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it.
He's not a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
He's not a cold-blooded
But
killer.
it's also something where, like, I was excited to watch him play this year.
You thought the team was going to look good.
I didn't know how good he was going to be
Now
this
you
year.
look at Tennessee and you're like, listen, you're going to have replacements, but the ceiling is lower.
Oh yeah,
the ceiling's lower.
We had a good team coming in. I felt
yeah,
like we're going to move Boo Carter to offense. Boo Carter could end up being amazing. Like we don't know. Boo Carter could end up being amazing
corner,
on offense.
Right?
He was safety.
Safety.
And he played at Bradley, I think, which is close up here. And he was super good last year. Hard hitter. And it was stupid because I'm pretty sure if we didn't let him play offense, he was going to leave.
Yeah.
But it's also something where, like...
Yeah, because he entered the portal and then came back.
We're like, well, I don't know if he ever entered. But he was saying, if I'm not playing offense, I'm going somewhere
else.
else. We have Mike Matthews, who looks amazing. He's got all the intangibles.
Five-star recruit.
He got all the intangibles to be like the number one receiver.
But outside of that, that's all you have.
Outside of that, on
offensive
offense,
line's going to be good.
Oh, always.
But you lost Dylan Simpson. Bishop is not going to be a Dylan Simpson replacement.
No.
The defense lost a lot.
Well, didn't we get the running back from Duke?
I don't think so.
I think we did.
I'm not sure. I don't follow Tennessee.
We have another.
Yeah.
Running back.
The Gerard McCoy is probably the number one corner in next year's draft.
Yeah.
That brother's a problem.
He's good.
He's a great corner. I was watching Omar Norman Lott's tape, and I was like, holy shit, who's the corner?
Oh, yeah.
No. I was like, who's the corner?
Yeah, he was.
Like, who is this clamping everybody?
He's cracked.
And
he played
physical.
He played really good against Ryan Williams.
So physical.
He played super good against Ryan Williams.
But
it's something where I feel like it's going to be all about how good that new QB is going to be.
Yes.
Because you look, and everyone's like, oh, he's coming to Appalachian State. He's going to suck, coming to the SEC. That's not how football works.
Yeah.
He was really good at Appalachian State. And that doesn't mean he's going to come and be really good here.
Look at what's his face at Vanderbilt. He
exactly.
played in New Mexico.
That's what I'm saying. People are people are not hating on the pick. Like, it's obviously...
When I saw Joey Aguilar and I was like, and they were like, you went to Appalachian State, I was like, oh, I remember that guy.
Exactly.
Because App State was crap.
They were good. And that's what I'm saying is you watch his tape, he's got better accuracies for sure, on the deep balls especially.
Yes.
That's to me, was Nico's biggest problem, was how inaccurate he was on the deep balls.
The deep ball.
He could not find the power. He couldn't get the power
There
right.
was a few times against Georgia where it was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then he missed it.
You're
and
like,
I was
thank God.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, that's what...
and he got rattled early. Like, you could rattle him, and it start to spiral as the game went out.
And I feel like the Aguilar could be like a Diego Papia, where he's just going to go out there and just be a dog.
Just ball.
Like, there's a chance he doesn't work out, and there's a chance he's really good.
But the iamaleava brothers show what's wrong with NIL. But I love what Tennessee did, where they're like, we're not paying you more. You're not going to do this.
And I loved how quickly they moved on.
Yes.
They didn't let it go back and forth. He missed practice. He wasn't going to come to the spring game. We said we don't want him.
Yeah. And then you're like, now you're getting buyouts where you're like, pay us back the money. You can't jump ship and take the money with you. Pay us back the money. I think that's going to discourage transferring.
Yeah. Tennessee, I felt like Tennessee did exactly what they should have done.
Tennessee frauds so the rest of the league could run.
Yeah.
With this.
It hurts Tennessee. It's not what we wanted. Obviously, we wanted the Nico, but they did the right thing. They moved on quick, and we got the best QB in the 2026 class.
Yes.
So,
now to the NBA playoffs, which have been entertaining. We'll start
I've
off.
really enjoyed these NBA playoffs.
We're gonna start off with the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are terrible. I think this is worse than I expected.
I agree.
John Morant's probably not going to play in Game 4. They're going to get swept.
Now, I think without John Morant getting hurt last night, they do win.
Scottie Pippen's looked good. Scottie Pippen's been the one guy where I've been thoroughly impressed. The way he played against the Warriors, locking up Curry in that second half, I was like, okay, Scottie, I was not aware of your defensive game.
Yeah, and I felt like that last game just sucked. Because, Lou Dort did not hurt him on purpose. He slipped.
He did not pull an Amen Thompson. And we'll talk about Amen Thompson
that
in a minute.
That was crazy.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. He he was going back. He slipped. That was nothing on him. like I wanted the flagrant.
I don't- I don't think
I'm
he-
like, bro, that's crazy.
I don't think he realized how close Jaw was.
They didn't, yeah. And it
Yeah.
was that. I felt like that was nothing on Lou Dort.
Because he turned and he jumped. Like, he turned because he could feel him,
Yeah.
and Jaw was just there.
Jaw was already there, and that's obviously that's Jaw's problem.
That is the high-flying,
Yeah.
the Derrick Rose side
And
of it.
I felt like that game's won if John Morant didn't get hurt.
But they're
And
going to
the-
get gentlemanly swept. Like,
Yeah.
they're not winning.
that was going to be the one game that they could win because they played really good
Yeah.
until John Morant got hurt, and it also kind of like takes the wind out of you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it sucked the wind out of them. Now, to your favorite team,
I'm
the Bucks.
I'm excited for this next game because this next game will determine the series.
But it shows the need of a third option and how
Oh,
bad
yeah.
this Kuzma trade has worked out. Kuzma does not look good.
He looked good up until the playoffs, though.
It just doesn't fit. And
Yeah,
you've got to find
yeah.
you've got to find that third option. Like Drew Holiday was your third option, Chris Middleton was your two. Now Dame's your two. You've got to find the three. The Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton's overrated. I'm just going to say this.
Oh, he's-
overrated.
Yeah.
We acting like he's a top 5 point guard in this league is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I
I think it's going to turn out to be a good series. I think we come.
if they lose tonight, it's over.
Yeah. I think we're going to come home and win them both.
I hope so.
Because that's what happened in the finals in 2021. Which different team, different everything.
Yeah, that was a whole different squad.
But
Which-
you go down 0-2. Giannis has been balling.
Speaking of the head coach of that team, let's talk about the Suns. Your phone still on that?
Yeah, it's still in charge.
Okay.
It's just fine.
The Sun. Let's talk about the Suns real quick because Mike Budenholzer
Yeah.
just came to mind.
Yeah.
That's a poverty franchise.
Poverty. Yeah, horrible.
They fired their third straight head coach in 30 years.
Kevin Durant's leaving. He will not.
Gone.
He will not be there next
Gone.
year. He will not be there.
And I think the Rockets should go after him. And we'll talk about that series in a minute.
Yeah.
The Suns it's just so bad. It just keeps getting worse. And Mike Budenholzer being a little bit of a bitch to Bol.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Because he didn't stand up. Bol's your best backup big. Play the brother.
The whole situation just makes no sense.
So bad. And they don't have picks. It's gonna be funny. But back to the Bucks. They've got to win tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's a series that they can come back and win.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
What sucks is how good Giannis is playing,
He's so underrated.
and he's
So underrated. He's the most underrated player
and
outside
he's-
of Trae Young.
and he's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave. I don't think. I think unless they trade him, like a Luka deal, but he's not Luka.
No, he won his title.
He
wanted
And
he
it's-
wanted
and
to
it-
win a ring.
I saw a post and it was like these 5 players have nothing left to prove and Giannis was on there, and I was like, I completely agree with that. He did
everything.
He did what Milwaukee needed. They brought him a title. Now you obviously want more titles. Obviously, you want more titles. He's trying.
Yeah.
You can tell he's trying.
The Dame Lillard move was a good move.
And also, I feel like the Bucks are trying.
Doc Rivers
it's just,
is not your guy.
No, and he never was. I don't know.
I think y'all fumbled that year, last year, where you fired Adrian Griffin halfway through the year.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Doc Rivers, which I think we've seen at every stop. Doc Rivers is not the head coach he once was.
And it's more of a, like, he made an immediate defensive impact. Our defense got so much better.
But your offense is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, watching Giannis, the game 1 hurt me because Giannis is doing anything and everything. But there's nobody. Like, AJ Green's good. You don't have really a point guard. Kuzma is hot or cold. Brook Lopez needs to go.
Brook Lopez shoots 30-footers for no reason.
Just needs to retire. And Bobby
We
Portis
need
is not him.
Bobby Portis needs to be him. Like,
But he's just not him,
he
though.
needs to be, bro.
But
Bobby Portis is the most up and down player I've ever seen.
yes.
Like he'll come out and not miss a shot. Like he won't score 30. He'll come out like 8 for 8, 25. And it's like just do this. Like why can't you just do this?
Yeah. Now, Heat Cavs, it's just gonna be a sweep.
That was expected. The Heat are
terrible.
not that good.
We're not gonna talk much about
the
that.
Heat were not that good.
Boston Magic, sweep.
I didn't expect a
We're not gonna talk
win
much
from
about that.
Orlando.
Lakers Timberwolves.
That's gonna
be interesting.
That could.
They go to
that's
Minnesota.
1-1 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius Randle played good, but Rudy Gobert. I want to rant about this. Rudy Gobert is probably the worst center in basketball right now. The only reason why is he's so bad. You can't play him offensively.
At all.
There were times when at crunch moments the other night when they were coming back against the Lakers, when shit got real, they pulled Rudy Gobert out of the game and put Naz Reid in and Luka every time watch it. I recommend everybody to watch this. Right, if the series is still going on when this comes out. Every time Luka's in a pick and roll, who do they put in that pick and roll? Rudy Gobert. Because he can't guard on the you pull him out from the free throw line, and he has Zach Edey footwork.
But then
Edey, I want to give Zach Edey credit. The Warriors game, he looked fantastic.
Zach Edey has already made strides.
He looked good. He added a 3-point shot. Now, if he can just fix his defensive footwork,
and if he can, he still doesn't have that good a finish in early round.
No, but great rebounder.
Yeah. And that's kind of what surprised me. It's like obviously he's 7'3", 7'4".
Huge guy.
Like you expect him to be good at rebounding, but like
he dominates at times.
I'm impressed.
I was impressed against the Warriors.
Yeah,
but Rudy Gobert. He doesn't have a 3-point shot. He has no offensive game outside of catching lobs.
Yeah.
And he falls through the cracks in games to the point where you're like, Rudy, do something, brother. Like I need a stop out of you. If he can pulling him out on the 3-point line, he's almost unplayable.
That's what I'm saying. If Rudy Gobert played in the 80s, he's probably the best. Well, he's already one of the best defensive players of all time.
Outside of playoffs. In the playoffs, he's one of the worst defensive players. Though.
But if he played in the 80s, he's the best. Because he wouldn't have to lead the paint. He would be the best defensive player we've ever seen.
Yes.
But now that you make him lead the paint,
it's a problem.
He's not good.
The Lakers are targeting him.
Yeah.
And they have no depth on that team.
Yeah.
And the bench is terrible. It's just so. They're gonna need Anthony Edwards and J.D. McDaniels and Julius Randle to go nuts.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, it's just a corpse running around.
He's not good. Now this Knicks Pistons series is really good.
The Pistons are the Knicks' kryptonite, which is super physical.
Yeah, and then the Pistons were 3-1 on the year against them.
The Pistons are a physical team, and this is a good team.
I agree.
That literally has everything.
And it feels like this year is not the Pistons' year.
Malik Beasley got robbed. You're going to tell me Peyton Pritchard? We're going to talk about this. That's our last segment.
It's a good debate.
I think the Pistons could beat the Knicks.
I don't think they will.
They're the kryptonite.
Yeah.
Like physicality.
Yeah.
But also the Knicks getting the Pistons first. The Knicks play their guys way too many minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna wear down the Knicks.
It will wear them down, and that's why they're not gonna. They won't make it past.
The Knicks are overrated.
They won't make it past next round, but I do think
it's a great series.
I think they will get past the Pistons. I'm
really proud of the Pistons. I think they deserve more national recognition.
Now,
that big Kate Cunningham's a dog.
Yeah.
They don't have Jaden Ivey yet. Asar Thompson needs to develop a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren's a great center.
Yeah.
Ron Holland's good. They've got some dudes on that team.
And it's weird how quick it just happened, Like, it was just immediate.
Who's the head coach now? JB Bickerstaff? JB Bickerstaff's known to do this. He did this with Memphis. He did this with the Cavs. Can JB Bickerstaff deliver?
Yeah. Now, let's talk about one of the best series probably in a while.
There's the last two are
the Denver Clippers.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Such a good series.
Jamal Murray needs to do more. I'm not seeing enough out of Jamal Murray. And Michael Porter Jr. is just meh. Again, another
Michael Porter Jr. has been getting worse.
Somehow.
I don't know how. Like, he's not bad.
When they won the title, that was his peak, and he's regressed since. Aaron Gordon, they've kind of taken him off. Aaron Gordon's now the backup big.
Yeah.
He's not starting anymore.
I will say, I think if you can keep Kawhi like this throughout these playoffs, they have a chance.
It's a scary team.
They have a chance. Kawhi's looking super good, getting to his spots. He's scary. He's just like, there's not a lot of scary players in the league.
It's his two-way ability. I think if they were to make a good run this year, he is a Hall of Famer. But he's got to have more good. I don't count the Spurs runs as his runs.
Okay.
Because he was a bench guy for most of that.
Yeah.
I count the Toronto run was him wheeling Toronto.
That Toronto run was just him.
He's plagued the Clippers up till this year. I've got to see something. You say he's a Hall of Famer. I say he's not, but he's close. He's got to deliver.
And I think right now he is. I mean, he's looking like it's just you watch him and
but this is a
he's
Nuggets
stone cold killer.
This is a Nuggets team. We forget that Nuggets fired their head coach 2 weeks ago.
It's very odd.
Christian Braun looks good. They have no bench. Not a bench at all. Westbrook is being Westbrick.
Yeah, he's very.
Jamal Murray has regressed again.
Jamal Murray is not the playoff Jamal Murray that they need.
Yeah, and it's showing this. The Nuggets have regressed a little bit, and Jokic is playing out of his mind.
It sucks. Like it's like a Giannis thing. Yeah, it's exactly like a Giannis thing.
The team aged, and the front office did not do enough. Like, okay,
they're different. The Bucks and Denver are in different situations.
I want to talk about the Bucks. They traded A.J. Johnson away, and he goes to Washington and hoops.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you cannot use that kid as your sixth man?
Yeah, it was. They never had A.J. Johnson a chance.
No.
So, like, I don't know what happened, but they didn't even give him a chance.
And he's hooping in Washington. But it's a great series. I want to talk about probably another great series. The Warriors and Rockets.
Yeah.
I want to say I want to say this right now. The Men Thompson thing, I wouldn't say it's dirty, but it does not look good.
It looked weird because
Draymond does not push him.
It doesn't look like he pushes him. It may have been sort of like he lost his footing, kind of.
But I don't like what Fred VanVleet said at the end. You better hope you get Jimmy back. The Rockets, I don't like how they acted in Game 2 with how. You would have thought they'd won the series. Like, they got too full of it.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a dogfight.
Yeah.
You're not winning the series.
It's just very weird because, like, Amin Thompson's a very physical player. He's someone we hadn't seen in a while. It's a weird build that, like, you can't even compare him to people, in my opinion.
Jalen Green finally showed up. But can you depend on him every game?
That's the problem. Now, can you depend on Jalen Green?
The Warriors have an issue. When the Rockets run that two big lineup of Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün, the Warriors have no response. They get out-rebounded and they can't drive. They have to start shooting mid-ranges and threes. And they struggle with that if they can't drive and kick.
Yeah.
And you can't with Steven Adams and Şengün. And Quinn Post is trying his heart out, but he's a rookie.
Yeah,
Draymond Green can't rebound with him. If Jimmy Butler cannot play, which I think he will because Jimmy Butler is a dog. Jimmy Butler is just...
And that's why I'm saying, if Jimmy Butler does not play, they will not win another game.
They will not win another game. They can't do anything without him.
No. Now, Steph Curry is obviously the heart and soul of this team, but he's not physical. Like
Jimmy Butler relieves the pressure off of him, which lets Steph Curry do more.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kuminga, Jonathan Kuminga hasn't played until last game, and we saw why.
Yeah.
He just does. Jonathan Kuminga's still really raw.
Yeah.
You can't rely on him because they gave Jonathan Kuminga minutes, and if Jonathan Kuminga, he wants his bag, he wants all this stuff, he wants more playing time, buddy, here you go.
Yeah.
Your replacement's down now. Run with it. He had 8 points on terrible shooting.
Yeah.
It just didn't look good.
It's just something where, this series will be decided is will Jimmy Butler play?
Podzinski was sick last game. Alperen Şengün's played great. I think Alperen Şengün deserves more attention.
He's got really nice footwork. That's one of the things. On offense,
Baby Jokic.
He's got really nice footwork.
Baby Jokic.
Yeah.
But again, it's a game that Jimmy Butler's health depends on it all. If Jimmy Butler's even available, then the Warriors are going to win games. And Jimmy Butler just hits a whole other level in the playoffs. Health-wise and everything, he plays through anything.
Yeah. This is also a team that I think Jimmy Butler stays. I think they will be a problem next year.
Yes.
I think they will. This is one of those things where, I don't think they're going to win this series.
Well, you don't think they're going to win the series?
I don't think so.
I think if Jimmy Butler's healthy, they do.
I don't know.
I think they can make a run with Jimmy Butler healthy.
I just don't. I feel like even if he comes back, he's not going to be healthy.
No, but it's the presence.
Yeah, and I understand that.
He can just
I feel like this is going to be the Rockets. I think the Rockets are going to win the series, but I think
they'll go 7.
I think the Warriors will come back, and I think they will dominate next year.
They'll go 7. Well, and I think this is very interesting. I believe Kuminga needs to get traded, and the Nets are one of the suitors.
Yeah.
What the Warriors need size. They got Day'Ron Sharp and Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton.
Yeah.
You can fix your size problem by trading Kuminga and let's say this year's first round pick because it's not a very big center heavy class.
Yeah.
Where when the Warriors will pick, there won't be a center that you want.
Probably.
So you trade your first round pick in Jonathan Kuminga for Nicholas Claxton. you fix your problem because now you have Claxton in post. You have Draymond Green as your 4. You fix
do you think if Draymond Green wasn't Draymond Green, if he didn't win 4 championships with him, do you think he's that good? Like right now?
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think they hit lightning in a bottle because he was the glue guy. He was the connector.
And that's what I'm saying. If I'm the Warriors, getting rid of Draymond just would feel weird.
Yeah, the Warriors aren't the Warriors without Draymond.
You don't need him anymore. He doesn't
the defense.
The defense is really good.
He allows you to play small.
He does.
I think because Jimmy Butler can't play the 5, Draymond Green's a mentor. I think it's like the Patriot way. Why they kept bringing back certain guys.
Yeah.
Is the Warrior way.
That's what that's what I was saying. Is that it's the culture sort of thing.
Yeah.
Draymond's probably never gonna play anywhere else.
No. Now everybody's gangster until Draymond starts doming threes, and then you're in trouble. And at one point you're Draymond starts taking threes and he's missing them. It's Draymond makes those threes. If Draymond starts hitting Draymond hits 2 threes in a game, you're most likely gonna lose because now you have to respect Draymond. Yeah. But if he can't hit a 3,
and he's very hit or miss.
A hot and cold.
Yeah, very hit or miss.
But to end the episode off, the awards, right? We're gonna start with DPOY because this one irks me. This one irks me.
I was upset about this too.
You break a record in steals, and you don't win DPOY. This is why. Marcus Smart. He did more than Marcus Smart. And I get Evan Mobley did good.
No,
but did he average 3 and something steals a game?
And I'm not gonna sit here and say Evan Mobley doesn't deserve DPOY. I just think Dyson Daniels deserved it
more. It was better, and Dyson Daniels better win Most Improved then. Dyson Daniels needs to come away with some hardware, and
I didn't understand it.
I didn't understand. I just didn't. Draymond Green being 3rd. I think the late PR push from Draymond when he's like, "Oh, we can win." I'm going to start playing defense now, which is something that pisses me off with Draymond. Just play defense year-round, brother. Stop half-assing it, and then you're like, oh, we're good? Defense. Yeah. But Dyson Daniels deserved it. Now, 6th Man of the Year, and this one irks me too. Ty Jerome deserved it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ty Jerome deserved it. Who did you think was going to get it over him? I think Peyton Pritchard should have been 3rd, and it should have been a battle between Ty Jerome and Malik Beasley.
I thought Malik Beasley was going to win it just because of how many threes he made.
Monster.
We'd never seen that from a 6-man. But,
Pritchard is because he's on the Celtics.
And I think that is the reason. But it doesn't feel undeserved, in my opinion.
I do. You take him off the Celtics and he puts that production up anywhere else, he does not win 6th Man of the Year.
You're probably right.
It's just because he's on the Celtics. The Cavs get low-key shitted on because it's the Cavs. And it's kind of like what we're seeing with the Thunder and the Rockets, where it's they don't have this big superstar. It's you don't need one. You got 8 options to give you 20.
That's what the Cavs are.
And I think Ty Jerome just deserved it. Ty Jerome has been a monster this year.
And I get that. Ty Jerome has been super good.
Again, Malik Beasley, a Pistons team that really doesn't have much spacing, he built spacing for them.
Malik Beasley,
threes.
Watching Malik Beasley play pisses me off.
This is the Malik Beasley we saw with Minnesota.
He is annoying.
Well,
you know what I mean? He's just annoying.
He just makes shots when you're like, oh, he's out of the play. No, and you're like, shit.
And then he shimmies. What really pissed me off was when Giannis blocked him and he did the shimmy, tried to help him up, and he got pissed. That rubs you the wrong way.
Well, they played together last year.
That's what I'm saying. Be friends with him. Malik Beasley was pissed. And it was you just got blocked by one of the best defense players in the league. He shimmied on you. Y'all were friends. Take the help up. He was mad.
Malik Beasley also was scapegoated for last year's struggles.
Maybe, but
so
he was good last year. He shot a good 3. That's what he needed.
Yeah, but not enough. He's having a better year as a 6-man than he was as a starting 2.
That is true.
The whole reason why the Bucks went out and got Gary Trent, and he has not done well either. But at this point, I'm convinced Dark Rivers is just not him. Mike Malone would be a good replacement.
Go hire him.
It'd be good. But that's all for today's episode. Hopefully Luke's back. He's like, yo, go. He keeps staying at school.
He hadn't been here for 3 weeks?
Yeah, the dude sucks. But Thank you all for watching. We'll have do a full draft recap next Friday.
Next Friday. So
and playoffs and awards. It'll be pretty much the same.
It'll be the exact same episode
as today
because everything will be out.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.